Hello everyone, I'm Mike Feltenberger, and today's Racing Photo Memory Makers will be 10 photos devoted to race cars that began with either a letter or the number 0. 10 photos, 0 or a letter for the car number. And first up, we have heading into turn number 3 at the Susquehanna Speedway in the A1 Modified, Dwight Leib. Dwight was a big racer in the super sportsman ranks in central Pennsylvania, most notably Silver Spring Speedway. Here he is in the A1 Modified. That's Dwight Leib. Touring the Turn 4 Oval, Orange County Fair Speedway, Middletown, New York, is multi-time feature winner Carl Pittenger in the Circle K Modified. Carl heading through turn 4 in the Circle K Modified during one of the Eastern States 200 events. Proprietor of a family-owned bowling alley, that's Chip Slocum in the C&L 22. Chip in the Gremlin-bodied racer heading through turn number 2 at East Windsor Speedway. Chip Slocum, C&L 22. Making a stop at the Reading Fairgrounds for the Super Dirt Week Syracuse qualifier back in the 70s, the J73 Vega, driven by Paul Sandy Rochelle. Paul getting around turns 1 and 2 in the J73 Vega during a Syracuse qualifier at the Reading Fairgrounds. Proudly standing with the Bob Johnson-owned J130 Modified, Russ Delp. Russ was a fantastic chauffeur in the flathead ranks at Reading, moving into the Modifieds and doing quite well in the Modifieds. Here he is seen posing with the J130 Modified owned by Bob Johnson. That's Russ Delp. The Marinelli ride, the M1, always had a great chauffeur behind the steering wheel of the M1. Here Kevin Collins is heading into turn number 2 at the Reading Fairgrounds for one of the Daniel Boone 200 races. That's Kevin Collins, the Marinelli M1 Gremlin. This car was sponsored by an orchard, the Twin O, the Ornolani Orchards car. Dennis Zerby, the pilot, from up in Leesport, Pennsylvania, getting ready to head out onto the speedway at the Reading Fairgrounds. Mustang-bodied racer, that's Dennis Zerby in the Twin O. Larry Acker seen here in the O2. Larry came to Reading for their sportsman events, their midweek sportsman events. He was also a point champion down at the Grandview Speedway. Always seen running the O2. They were always sharp-looking race cars. That's Larry Acker heading into turn 3 at Reading in the O2 Sportsman. One of the longtime owners and drivers at the Reading Fairgrounds, the Pete McGrain 007. The driver is the Pottstown paratrooper, Harry Moore. Harry has the 007 powering off of turn number 2 at the Reading Fairgrounds. Harry, a multi-time feature winner at Reading. Also put on a good show down at the Hatfield and Saratoga Speedways. That's Harry Moore in the 007. And our final photo, the U2 Gary Butler, the cell phone U2, heading off of turn number 2 at the Reading Fairgrounds. Gary always made a good showing of himself no matter what car he was driving at the Reading Fairgrounds, but here he is in the U2 Coupe. That's Gary Butler. Hope everyone enjoyed these racing memories. We'll have many more to come in future episodes, so please have a safe day, be careful, and see you at the raceway.